As the new year has begun, we look back on all that was, and we think about all the good times that we've had. With most of our time put into school or work or sports, we were pretty busy. What little time we did have, we decided to sit down and just play our games. As we reflect upon the games that we're playing now, we realize something, and something's just not right. Our expectations of this year just didn't go as planned. Now, most of the time, each year brings some sort of disappointment, but this year, something just seemed off. Something doesn't seem as enjoyable as it did before. And, I think there's something different about the video game industry this year that has really disappointed us. Let's start at the beginning. The date is January 1st, 2018. 2017 was a pretty crazy year. A lot of emotions, a lot of stress, maybe some anger. Tensions in the world are just running high, and people are looking forward to a new year. People want to relax. People have set their resolutions this year to learn to relax. People are looking for an escape to just shut off their mind and just enjoy their time. People want to hop onto their favorite gaming device and just de-stress a bit. There are high hopes for this year. Graphics are going to improve. Quality of games are going to improve. Sequels to games we all love. Expectations of a quality Call of Duty or Battlefield are soon to be out. Things are going to be great. And then as the months pass, new content comes out, new leaks, new info, gameplay, teasers, demos, and betas announced for the future. PUBG and Fortnite are going to hold us over until E3, where we can really hear about the new games and add those to our library in the future. Oh, the blissful ignorance. Let's face it, guys. 2018 sucked for video games. What a waste of production budgets. Several games and several flops. Not that we didn't buy them, because we bought them. Not that we don't enjoy them, because I'm sure we do. But seriously, the AAA market this year, big letdown. Let's begin taking a look at earlier in this year. While the game may have been released in 2017, the carryover remains in 2018. Battlefront 2 and its continued letdown. Now, let me be very clear here, I was not involved in this game. I was not one complaining when this game came out because I didn't buy or care to buy the game. I tried the first Battlefront and it wasn't as great as I remember the old games to be. However, this game got a lot of pushback. Microtransactions with a pay-to-win progression system? Something like this in a competitive multiplayer game, what in the world were they thinking? Also, it may be deemed gambling for kids, so there's also that. Moving right along, EA taking another top spot, this time Battlefield 5, or Battlefield V if you're the hilariously unfunny Trevor Noah. The trailer came out and confused some people. Now, I'm not one to care much about accuracy when it comes to video games. It's a video game. I get that people want more historically accurate details out of a Battlefield game, but they're also playing a game where it takes 8 bullets to down a soldier, and every soldier has a machine gun with a red dot sight, and battles consist of standing on a fixed flag position. However, I can see how putting a female with a prosthetic arm on the front lines can seem sort of, strange, and how many people may be scratching their heads a bit. People want video games to be fun. They don't really want to be bombarded with social justice ideas. And I think the comment by the developers really encompasses how developers feel about the consumers at this point. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And, well, the consumers didn't. Battlefield 5 sales, as you can see, just came out, and they were pretty down. And then EA took a hit. Now, this isn't really hardly enough to hurt them because of cute things called microtransactions and also EA's just sheer size. But it just shows the lack of respect EA has for its player base who have different social ideas than they do. Next, we'll take a step away from EA and head over to Bethesda. This was actually something very surprising to me. At E3, Bethesda introduced its first attempt at an online survival-style MMO, Fallout 76. This was a big step for Bethesda, sort of. I honestly was quite surprised at the announcement of this game, and I wasn't expecting another Fallout game to be released for another several years. And by the looks of this game and the release, it probably should have actually been a few years before risking this. Now, the game seemed like a great idea in theory, but the launch was certainly something I wouldn't consider consumer-centric. Bugs, more bugs, and minimal content. The game is boring, the quests are boring, There's nothing to do, and along with a rough release when it comes to bugs, there were also a few other hiccups along the way. Expensive microtransactions, the great canvas shortage of 2018, delayed Nuka-Rum, and more terrible microtransactions. I think the writing on the wall was evident there. Bethesda wanted a quick way to make some cash. A lot of Fallout 4 went into this game, and it's apparent the game was made hastily. Unfortunately, it must have been hard to see what the consumers wanted with the green dollar signs in front of their eyes at the thought of multiplayer skin transactions. Also, the Creation Club sucks. Moving on again, BlizzCon comes to an announcement of Diablo Immortal. Now, I don't play Diablo and don't really know what the game is like. However, it seems the same type of thing happened. Blizzard saw an opportunity to make some quick cash in an attempt to port Diablo to a phone, and apparently it won't be coming to PC, and that made people very angry. If you just watch the video of the announcement, that's cringeworthy. You almost have to feel bad for the guy. And again, Blizzard's comment sort of expresses how the company feels. Don't you guys have phones? As if they're fools for not wanting to play this hardcore game on their phones. Again, the consumer in this case takes a backseat to the quick money grab. Finally, onto a game I had a lot of hope in. Onto a game that's supposed to be bread and butter for the shooter genre. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Putting a battle royale into a Call of Duty game was something that was risky, but also could promise high rewards. Even after the beta, things looked pretty good. The servers were good, the content looked good, and then the release came with the usual shenanigans. Microtransactions, microtransactions, microtransactions. Server latency increased. Call of Duty turned into a hero shooter for some stupid reason. Now, I could be wrong here, but I think most people hate the idea of having specialists in the game. This game isn't supposed to be Overwatch. The whole mechanics of the game, having someone be able to use a specialist perk to get some kills during the game regardless of the skill, is just pretty stupid. Not saying this was the actual money grab scheme, but it certainly wasn't what most were expecting Call of Duty to be. Along with this, a lot of the maps were already maps that have been created. Nothing new in the game. Now, I don't think this game has done as bad as the others, but I still think it's been a letdown for the hardcore Call of Duty fans. As for me, I couldn't care less what my character looks like, and the microtransactions don't appeal to me, so I couldn't care less about that, but I still think the microtransactions are annoying and may eventually be the end of current AAA titles. Honorable mention here, even though it's not a video game, ray tracing sucks. Excellent idea with a promising future, but the original showing was terrible. Tech gets better with time though, so hopefully the bugs get worked out, but as of now, that's not a viable option. As we begin 2019, I think this year is going to be different. I think you're going to see some changes in the gaming industry, especially when it comes to AAA titles. I'm not sure what the future holds for them, but I think that these indie titles may have something going for them. But that's in my next video. Hey, if you guys like the video and enjoy the content, feel free to drop a like down below, subscribe, and comment on what you think about this year, and if maybe you enjoyed this year and enjoyed the games that came out, and maybe what you're looking forward to this year. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.